I think back, the day that the light bulb came on was the day after Christmas one year. And I got a call from my sister in Minnesota. I'm out here on the West Coast, Washington State. And I was told that she's had multiple strokes. If you want to see Mom, you better get out here now. 3 hours later, I'm in an RV heading to Minnesota with my family. And I call my leader at the time and said, I'm going to be gone. I don't know how long. You know, I don't even know what I'm driving into here. And she said, don't worry about it. And I thought to myself, I'm out of business. You know, how am I going to earn a living? How am I going to pay bills? And then I realized I have a laptop and a cell phone. I'm in business wherever I am. So getting back to your original question, that type of freedom, I get to pick and choose what I want to do. Now it's a double-edged sword. If you always play before you work, you run out of money. So it puts it on me though. And the company highlights the positive. They do not focus on the negative. If you show up at a meeting, they're not going to call you out and say, yeah, Schinkel here is, what have you been doing this week? That's not what they do. They focus on the positive. They highlight people's successes. So that's the kind of company I want to be involved with.
Piqued my interest with this company was just the potential for growth, just the freedom to, handle and transact business. Feel like you're your own boss. The self-employment, sort of vibe with the help that worked out a lot for me.
What I love is the open door policy. When I was in Chicago and I went to training, I met Lyra Seymour, and she is not in my team. She lives in a different state, and she said, call me anytime. And I took her up on that offer. It's gonna make me cry.
A couple months in, when I got my first comma in my check.
I would say the real light bulb hit me during open enrollment. Like seeing myself make that much money and helping other people out. When I came here, I was pretty bruised from where I'd come from, so all I wanted to worry about was myself. But it was right around then when I was like, you know what? Like, I can grow a team. I can start managing people. I can take on responsibilities again. And it was at that point it occurred to me that working with HST had actually helped heal me.
Honestly, probably one of my first sales where I sold a policy for like $1,000 a month and I got paid the commission, and I was like, really? You could sell an insurance policy for $1,000 a month and make X amount of dollars? Here I'm working 40 hours a week for AT&T, and I basically made the same amount of money when I sold one policy for $1,000. A lot's changed in the insurance industry over the last 10 years, but at the end of the day, the amount of money that you could make selling insurance compared to working in corporate America, night and day.
The light bulb went off for me when I was making more money than any of my friends and I was working part-time.
The light bulb went off for me with HST when I took my first incentive trip, which I think was to the Riviera Maya with my wife. And I started to meet the guys and the gals and everybody that was making it happen. And I don't just mean the agents and the leaders, but I mean the office staff as well. And it turned me on, and I knew I was in the right place. But backing up, before that, I was working on a Saturday. I had a question. I just started. I had a rookie with me, 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. I texted Beata Badrone, and I had a question. And she answered my question at 10 o'clock. This is the first frickin' month that I started.
I guess I had been with 2 other agencies before this, very short-lived, but I couldn't feel like home. One of them, it was a captive agency, and I did not believe in the products. The second one, it was more like a broker type situation, but the commissions were very small, so I felt like I floundered for a little bit. And Stephanie, my best friend, and I, we started looking for people that were at the agency with us before to see if they left or who they were appointed with, and that's when we ran across Gina, and she had been appointed with Aetna. So we looked her up on Facebook, we talked to her. I heard the excitement in her voice. I heard the just thrill of talking about the lead money and the lead credits and just how amazing the company was. We met with her at Panera. She showed us some paychecks, some legitimacy, and from there, I mean, I just knew from that very moment on that that's what I wanted to do.